Hey, what's up, lightboltjoe here. Today we are going to discuss the 2023 Netflix original film, We Have a Ghost. This is written and directed by Chris Landon. We know and love him from Freaky, Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, Happy Death Day to You. Love Chris Landon. He is awesome. Him and his family are just absolutely incredible. They post amazing pictures. I'm a big fan of Chris, and he does great horror. So this is based on a short story. So Chris did the screenplay based on a short story, and it's a very interesting concept. We haven't seen this concept before, especially within a digital age. So what happens if you get a recording of a ghost that you can interact with, um, but you're not afraid of them? You just find them funny for trying to scare you because life is just so terrifying enough. A ghost is hysterical. And then what happens if that video becomes viral? And then how do you market that? How do you make merchandise from that? How do you go on an interview circuit from that? When Jennifer Coolidge's character of something Ramona comes about, who's like a TV medium, to do an interview at the house with Anthony Mackie's character, who plays the father of these two sons. So it's this family, this foursome family that moves into this new house where David Arbor's ghost, who's named Ernest, but who's not actually Ernest, comes into play, and he is the ghost. Why is he in this house that was built in 1904? Why can't he leave things, right? So for that whole haunting scene during the interview was just so cool because it was a play on being a ghost. The fan club outside, constantly the viral videos, the reaction videos, the Ernest challenges, being a category on Wheel of Fortune. Like, it's just so neat showing the combo of past and present of within media, right? So you have the game shows, the talk shows, stuff like that on TV for the old folk, and then you have the modern age of social media. So you have the horizontal for the old folk, and then you have the vertical shot, the portrait shot for the new folk, in regards to different TikToks, different reels, different shorts. It's just very interesting what happens if you find a ghost and that ghost can interact with you and you and the ghost make videos together. What happens? Very interesting concept. So it's in a matter of the matter of the it's now it's then there we go. Then a matter of the main character, Kevin, the youngest 16-year-old son, who's trying to figure out a way to help Ernest, help him cross over if there is some kind of crossing over. And then it's a matter of, is Ernest actually Ernest? Well, he's not actually Ernest. He's a different guy. And Ernest was the person who actually lived in the house back in the 60s. And then, who's this guy wearing a bowling shirt with banana splits on the back, which is an awesome bowling name. I miss bowling so much. Me and my brother used to bowl every Friday night on the league. It was just so entertaining in school, middle and high school. It was just wonderful. But it brought back good memories of that bowling aspect. Not many bowling films out there, so it was a good subplot of bowling. So why is David's character, this ghost, wearing a bowling shirt named Ernest if his name is not Ernest? Who is he? How does he start to remember things if he can't remember things as a ghost? And then as the story progresses, it's still within that social media aspect. It's still within that new family in this new house. What happens when a mob of people and interviewers try to get into your property? But also, aside from that, there's the science fiction aspect to it, the paranormal aspect to it, of the metaphysical aspect to it, of Tig Notaro's character plays this CIA agent, ex-CIA agent, who then goes back into the fields, that the wizard clips, or I forget what program they were a part of. They were trying to capture a paranormal, but then what happens after you capture an entity? They're already dead, so what do you do with them? It's a very interesting concept. So then having the CIA swap the house basically, with Kevin and's new current girlfriend, who's the neighbor, and Ernest then going on a road trip because he's not technically trapped to the house. As they learn, he can actually leave. So it's very interesting playing with that. It's interesting, Ernest learning that he can be invisible sometimes. He can pick some stuff up sometimes. He can touch somebody, but they can't touch him. It's very interesting ghost rules. Each different ghost property has their own rules. Some of them follow certain things, but this one has its own things. I like that. I really love how Chris brings in certain levels of paranormal aspects or certain level of horror aspects within a science fiction aspect as well. We saw that within Happy Death Day. Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You switched genres in the sequel. The first one is very much horror, and why is this girl reliving the same day? And then in the second one, we bring in the horror, but it's also science fiction and an explanation of why she's reliving the same day, as well as another main character is reliving the same day. So to keep within his nice package aspect of Chris knows how to do horror, and he also knows how to do a horror science fiction combo. Horror comedy in general is very hard to do, and Chris does a great job. We saw that very specifically within Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse. Absolutely perfect film, perfect example of a horror comedy film, which is hard to do, but Chris knows how to do it. And then Freaky came out after Happy Death Day and Happy Death Day to You. So when they were announcing that Chris was doing We Have a Ghost starring Anthony Mackie and David Arbor, I was like, oh, bro, this is going to be great. It's long. It's over 2 hours long. And a lot of this, to be honest, felt like it should have been a miniseries. The story that was presented to us could have been expanded a little bit more. That if it was more of that road trip that the kids had with Ernest, more of the, diving into the whodunit and then figuring that out, but more also on the CIA paranormal aspect, more on the what happened at the previous states that the family alluded to, that they had to keep moving constantly. Like, a lot of stuff was mentioned, which we could have definitely expanded on. We didn't have to. We have a nice 2 hour film that had equal parts comedy as a drama, equal parts horror as it had comedy. Very well done. I was very impressed with this. But again, I love Chris Landon's work. He's an amazing artist. He does an incredible job with whatever he does. I can't wait to see what happens next. Everybody did a great job. This was very entertaining. My dad was laughing quite a lot as we watched this. He is a very stern critic when it comes to certain aspects of horror or comedy, but he was laughing a lot through this, and it was very well done. Very good concept. I will continue to praise this constantly. Very good film. Very well done. On to the next review. Mucho mahalo.